Hello everyone, welcome to Teaching Notes. As we grow older, we start to notice some changes in our ability to remember things. Sometimes during the conversation, we can't even recall most familiar names. Nowadays, even children are suffering with these kind of minor problems. These all things are related to memory techniques. Coming to the point, what is a super memory and at what point we start learning super memory? Let us know more about these in the words of Srimati Indrani Pramod Kelkar, who is a IIT Bombay graduate with PhD in applied mathematics. She worked as a professor for about 30 plus years in various engineering colleges and institutions. Presently working as subject admin in TCS ION. Over to Indrani ji.
It's a fantastic thing to know what is memory and what is super memory. All of us have a God given gift of memory, the brain, how to utilize it. Today, most of the computer engineers are working on machine learning, artificial intelligence, whatnot. But the basis behind all that learning or processing is the way human brain works. If we understand how the human brain works and utilize it properly, we also can function exactly like the computer, which is automating a lot of machines today. Super memory is a possibility which is given by the ancient Indian systems, the Gurukula system. Even when the paper was not invented, lot of information which was discovered, understood, was transferred from one generation to other generation by only memorizing things. Today, lot of mantras, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, which is 2000 years ago written, understood, it's still available to us only because the memorization process was properly utilized by those time gurus. Then, what has happened to us? Why we see students under a lot of stress? They say education has become more of a problem than happiness. First important thing is God given utilization capacity of a brain is much more than what we actually use today. They say not even 2 to 3% of the brain capacity we use. If so, what is that we can do so that we improve our memory capacity and make life of children, especially the students, to be more fun and learn? It's a possibility. Today, if we combine the ancient techniques of memory and the modern understanding about the brain function, then a fantastic thing is possible for today's generation to not to forget what they have learned. So the first thing we have to know is what is the forgetting curve. The forgetting curve states that whatever I put input to the brain through the panchendriyas, the five senses, is taken by the brain as raw data. If the intention is specified to the brain within 24 hours, the first repetition is done. Then the brain understands that it's an important information and I should preserve it. Otherwise, within 24 hours, if no intention is specified, the data is lost, like garbage bin. If within the first week of learning a repetition is done, then the brain knows that it's much more important than what it was thinking. The forgetting chance is much reduced. Within the first month, if the repetition is done, now the brain knows that it is the most important thing and it must be preserved very specifically. on this forgetting curve, which says that first 24 hours, first 1 week, and then first 1 month, and then the first 3 months. The whole education system is based today. That is how we'll know that the homework which is given in school has to be done by the student today evening what he has learnt in the morning. Then there will be a weekly test, then there will be a monthly test, and then there will be a semester test or a trimester test. This is not about giving a pressure to the student, but cutting the forgetting curve so that the memory preserves that information, which is the most important thing for a student when he is going to write the exam after 1 year of learning. We misunderstand this, and many of us say that there should not be exams give pressure. But if a student studies one day before the exam, it will definitely be a pressure to the parent and the child. But if a parent understands and trains the child that steps of learning, steps of remembering are to cut the forgetting curve, memorize it within those intervals specified, automatically there is no stress to the brain, there is no stress of exam. There will be really fun to give an exam because the brain has kept it, and once the brain keeps it, it's very difficult to forget. You will remember in your life the most beautiful things, like you have seen the sunrise on a beach, or you made the first gulab jamun and it was so tasty, or you went on a bike ride when your father had just left the hand which he was holding when you first learned the bike. It was all fantastic moments of life, and your brain never takes them out. Equally well, what you did not like is also preserved by the brain because your expression and intent has given it that this is not what I like and I don't want it to be forgotten also. That is when the brain filters what is most important for you and what is not what you like. So, specifying the intention and the equal amount of repetition done at right time will make the brain to be utilized the best way. But it is not that one technique fits all. For remembering numbers, it would be a different technique required. For remembering text, it would be a different technique required. For remembering poems, songs or mantras, a different technique. So, if we train our brain, the input which is given by only the 5 senses, the panchendriyas, if it is filtered and put properly by the brain, when you need it, you are able to get it back. So what is super memory is when we need that moment, that information is available in the right format. Nothing is very difficult, but our understanding about our memory and its capacity is the most important thing. So make sure you understand it, make sure you give it to your children, and if they learn these techniques of super memory, their life as a student, their life as a professional, and their life as a parent would be the most fantastic thing to happen. Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable speech, Indrani ji. New viewers, please subscribe this channel to meet us again. Thank you.